So in last lecture, we have finished with the error detection and error correction mechanisms. Now in this lecture, we are going to start with the remaining topic of the second unit, that is framing and the protocols. Okay, so in this lecture, we will be learning about the framing. Some part we have learned in the introduction about the data link layer. In this lecture, we'll discuss more about the framing. So as you know, in data link layer, the data needs to pack bits into a frame. So whatever is the unit of data that is sent in a data link layer, that unit of data is called as the frame. The other units of data, I have told you, in data link layer it is called as frame. In network layer it is called as packet, and in transport layer it is called as segment. So we are studying the data link layer. So in data link layer, the uh, data is called as a frame. So each frame is required to be distinguishable. That means it is somewhat like this. The frames are set like this. This is first frame, second frame, third frame, fourth frame, and so on. So this requires to have the distinction between these two frames. That means this frame is ended here. This is the end of the first frame, and this is the start of the next frame. So as data is moving continuously through cable or network channel, so it is required to identify which frame is starting where and ending where. So this is, let us say, end of this frame, and this will be a start of next frame. Similarly, this will be end of next frame. So this ends and start of the frame are required to be identified. Okay, so for that reason, there are two kinds of the frames: the fixed size framing and the variable size framing. Okay, so in some cases, the older version of computer networking frame was considered to be a character-oriented protocol. So character-oriented protocols means each character. You are learning the programming languages, so let me know what is the size of the character. How many bits are reserved to store the character? 1 bit, 2 bit, 4 bit, 8 bit, 16, 32, or 1 byte, 2 byte, 4 byte, 8 bytes. So how many bytes are required to store a character into a computer? In C programming or C++ programming or Java programming or whatever the programming language that you have learned, how many bits of data is required or how many bytes of data is required to store a character? Okay, it is required to have a 1 byte or 8 bits. The character requires 1 byte or 8 bits. So whatever the programming language you will go for, C or C++ or Java or Python. For a character data, it requires a 1 byte of data, 1 bytes to store the character. Okay, so 1 byte means 8 bits. So it is stored somewhat like this: 0000 1010. So these are called as the one character. So this is one character. So every character have his ASCII value. So this ASCII value is written in a memory, so in the form of zeros and ones. So total number of bits required for storing a character is 8 bits. Okay, so a frame in a character-oriented protocol. So as this frame is going a character by character. Okay, so this frame will have the characters like, say, let us type a message as hello. So this is the first frame consider, and world. This is the second frame consider. Okay, so this hello will have how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5. Let me remove this. Hello have 5 characters, and world have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So this will be sent as the ASCII code for hello, the ASCII code for E, ASCII code for L, ASCII code for L, and ASCII code for O. Then this frame is ending here, and the next frame is starting here. So your receiver needs to know where this frame have ended and where the new frame have started, because this is the format of the frame that we have seen. So it has some flag. So the flag is used for starting and ending of the frame. So to separate the two frames, the flags are used. So the flag will be at the starting frame and the flag will be at the ending frame. So normally this flag is like this: 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this flag is like this. So normally this sequence of characters is used for representing a flag. So meaning of this is whenever you will get find this byte, whenever you will find this byte, that means 8 characters, which is starting from 0, ending at 0, and in between all the ones. Meaning of that is it is a start of the frame. And whenever you will find the similar pattern at the ending side, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So you will say that it is the end of the frame. So from the start, it will consider all the data, and if it finds this sequence of pattern again, then it will say it as an end. This is start and this is the end. And in between, it requires a header and a trailer. Trailer, we have seen that it is used for error correction and error detection. So by using the different algorithms like simple parity, Hamming code, cyclic code, these trailer bits are added with data to detect and correct the errors in the data. Then this is the actual variable number of characters. So this is the actual data. For example, say hello world will be sent in this frame. Okay, now the problem here is, what can be the problem? We are saying that this is the pattern of bits that is used as this start and end. But it is possible that somewhere in this data, this bit pattern is repeating or is available, because it is actually some pattern. So it is possible that you will find this pattern into a data also. You will find this bit pattern into a data also. So if this bit pattern, for example, say this is a bit pattern in the data. So if this bit pattern is available here, then what it will be assumption that frame is starting here and frame is ending here, but which is wrong, because you are finding this pattern here. So meaning of that, we have seen that we are saying that this pattern is a start and an end. So if you find this pattern into a data also, then also it will be considered as the end of the frame. Okay, and this will be a new start of the frame, but this is a wrong assumption. This is a wrong assumption, and why we are saying, because we are finding this pattern. Okay, to overcome this problem, one technique is used that is called as the byte stuffing. One technique is used that is called as the byte stuffing. Okay, for example, say the pattern that you are saying is called as the flag. So this pattern is available in the data. So this is actually a data. And one more pattern that is used for used along with a flag character, that is also available into this data. So the method to remove this disadvantage is that inserting one extra escape character. If this flag pattern is occurring in the data, then what this sender will do, it will add escape character here. And if escape character itself is in the data, then it will add one more escape character here. Okay, now what is the meaning of this escape character? So this escape character will tell that this flag is a part of the data, and this escape is also a part of this data. Are you getting what I am saying? This escape is a part of data, and this flag is a part of data, and this escape is a part of data. Why it is so? Because we have inserted or stuffed this escape character before a flag, this escape character before this escape character. Okay, so meaning of that is this escape character will tell that this flag, which is the pattern for starting and end of the frame, but this flag should be considered as internal part of the data. Similarly, this escape character should be considered as internal part of the data. So these two bytes are inserted. Then at the receiver side, receiver will receive this data, and he will simply remove this escape characters. He will remove this escape character. He will character and will deliver the data as this. And this is your complete data. This is your complete data. So are you getting how this byte stuffing works and why byte stuffing is required? Because for starting and ending of a frame, one flag is used. One flag is used. But it is possible that this flag is present in a data itself. So it will be a wrong assumption that this is a start or end of the data. So to remove this disadvantage, one escape character is inserted before the flag. Only escape character is inserted before the flag. But it is again possible that this escape character is also a part of the data. So what is done for this removing this disadvantage? Another escape character is inserted, and at the receiver side, this escape characters will be simply removed. So byte stuffing is the process of adding one extra byte whenever there is a flag or escape character in the text. Whenever flag or escape character is part of the text, then this flag, no sorry, then this byte, extra byte will be inserted in between. Next is frame bit-oriented protocol. Previously, we have studied a character-oriented protocol, but character-oriented have different problems. Like we have said that character is of 8 bits. In programming languages, but a different kind of the encoding formats are there, like Unicode, which uses the 16-bit character format, or some other format uses the 32-bit character format. So if the character size is varying, depending on hypertext programming language or any XML language, so in that different Unicode formattings are used, or your Word file that we consider the different encoding technique. So this different encoding technique represents a character of a variable size. So the character-oriented protocol will not be suitable or is not suitable. So we have to discover some generalized format that will work for all types of the encoding. So this generalized protocol is implemented with the bit-oriented protocol. Bit-oriented protocol. So it will be a simply sequence of bits. It will be a simply sequence of bits. Whatever will be the encoding method. So at this sender side, sender will use encoding method. It will encode a data using it will encode a data using some encoding algorithm. Say let us say algorithm as algorithm 1. Then at the receiver side, the receiver will decode this data using the same algorithm, algorithm 1. So what kind of the algorithm is used? That is written in the application layer, so that the sender and receiver uses the same encoding and decoding technique, so that data will be understood. Okay, so there will not be any byte, any character here. It will be a simply sequence of bits. It will be a simply sequence of bits. Okay, now what a flag is used to indicate starting and ending character. So flag is used as 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That means 6 ones, 0, 6 ones, and 0. 0, 6 ones, and 0. So whenever the receiver will get this pattern, so he will assume that this is the start or end of the frame. He will assume that it is the start or end of the frame. So it will try to separate out the frames from this position. Then it will remove the header. Then it will remove the actual data. Then it will remove the trailer. Will check the correctness of the data, and then he will find this pattern. So this he will assume that the frame is completed. Then again, a new frame will get started. So like that, here new frame will start. So again, there will be a header, then data, and then trailer. Then again flag, then again header, data, and trailer, again flag, header, data, and trailer. Like this, there will be a continuous stream of data that is flowing. Okay, now what we need to understand here, like we have studied a problem of byte stuffing, why byte stuffing is required because the pattern appears in the data. So here also it is possible that this pattern is available in the stream. This pattern is available in this stream, but which is actually a data. So this receiver will not misunderstand the data as start or end. So for that reason, we have to stuff bits. So bit stuffing is the process of adding one extra zero whenever 5 consecutive ones follow a zero in the data. Whenever there are 5 consecutive ones that will follow a zero in the data, so that the receiver does not mistake a pattern this. So it will not mistake the pattern. What we have to do, whenever there are 5 consecutive ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to insert a zero. Then again start. Okay, so let us understand this with the example. For example, say this is the data coming from the upper layer. Okay, now if you will observe that here, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seven. Seven ones are there. So the receiver should not misunderstand that six consecutive ones are start or end of the frame. So after five ones, what is it you are required to do? So these are five ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have to insert a zero. So this is called as the bit stepping. Again, there are continuous five zeros, so we have inserted one extra zero here. So this is called as the bit stepping. And then the data will be sent to the receiver, and receiver will simply remove this extra bits or stuff the bits and will deliver the data to the upper layer. So this is how bit stepping and byte stepping works. So byte stepping for character-oriented protocol and bit stepping for bit-oriented protocol. Okay, so I hope this is understandable to you. So we'll start with the next part. It is a flow and error control. So the